Okay, so welcome to the course Ports and Customs Operations. Ports and Customs Operations. So uh, I will be showing you the overview today in this lecture. This will be the overview of the Ports and Customs Operation. This will be first of four series in this course. So this is video number one, talking about the overview of Ports and Customs Operations. My name is Fanuel, and stay back and let's flow. So when we say Ports and Customs Operations, in this lecture, we will be looking at how students can acquire skills in the areas of customs procedures pertaining to importing and exporting of goods and services. Basically, that's the main focus. And the four video sessions will cover topics including the overview, ports operations and management, maintenance of the port, domestic freight management, international and global freight management, passenger considerations, port and area controls, physical requirements and consignment, unitization and consignment monitoring, port development and planning requirement, and also look at digitizing port operations. So let's look at port operations. So you could see ports may have different form, they may be in different sizes from country to country, from city to city. It's a typical seaport or marine port or port at the harbor where we have goods in and out, a typical terminal at the port. Now, good. So when we say port operations, what are we looking at? Port operations, basically, we are looking at a series of maritime procedures that ensure smooth transition of vessels and their containers from one terminal to another. So moving from maybe Accra port to Takoradi port in Ghana, for example, or moving from Amsterdam port to Hamburg, or wherever you want to go, or maybe from Shanghai to Lagos. Wherever you want to go to, there are likely to be ports to carry goods and services from one point to another. So we have many ways that we can look at it. Sea travel can be through different means, such as through cargo, ferries, barges, recreational ships, and other watercraft. And all watercrafts rely on port operations to start or finish their maritime journey successfully. Of course, let me state here that as we progress, we will look at other ports like the airport. So everything is not going to be about the seaport, but that's going to be a major part because majority of our sea freight normally goes to the seaport or the marine transport system. So when we talk of air freight is another term for air cargo, and it helps in the shipment of goods through an air carrier. Okay, so airports, transports, or air transport services are ideal for moving express shipment around the globe. So ship transport is a bit slower compared to air transport. So if you want to transport something very fast, like perishables or documents that need urgent attention within a day or two, sea may not be the most convenient or most appropriate. You may want to consider air transport. Okay, so let's look at port regulations. You see, ports are such that things can come in and out of the country through the port, so they have to be regulated by the state. So there are many regulatory authorities in Ghana. Our ports are normally regulated by Ghana Port and Harbors Authority, and that is for the seaports, and then the airports are handled by the Ghana Airports Company Limited. So these two main organizations handle. But when it comes to the international domain, there are a lot of regulations concerning transit or transport of goods by air or by sea, whichever way. All those who want to transport goods through any of the port systems, they must contact the port authorities to understand the regulatory requirement. The port operations will cover things like how the airport is managed. In Ghana, for example, we have the Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, which we mentioned earlier. They also play management role aside the regulatory role. Then we have maritime authorities, and we have customs authorities. They are also part of the management system in the port. They also have a lot of say. Ghana Standard authorities are there. Security agents, freight forwarders, vessel operators, and many other groups who are all operate in the port or at the port. So you can see another picture of a typical system where we have rail line, the cargoes, and other systems at the terminal, a typical terminal. So this could be a rail terminal, okay, where we have all these containers being loaded onto the rail line for transport. You can also see trucks. Okay. You can also see typical kind of freight system where the goods are being packed into various containers, or into forms that will be easy to fly them. So you see that they are putting them together, and then it will get carried by the machine and loaded onto the is a typical cargo aircraft, right? That you can talk of. Yeah, you can see how these things get into the aircraft. The second one is what we call the belly ones, no? The goods typically here are loaded onto the bellies. These are passenger aircrafts. You can see the windows up there. But when you go to the previous one, you see that this one is a purely cargo aircraft that has no passenger place, so you don't see any windows out there. So these are the two different types you can also look at here. So today's discussion, I wanted to think about how we can understand port operations around the world. You need to learn a lot more about port operations by yourself. You can go to YouTube and other channels and let's see how port operations work. You can learn about a particular port, or you can learn about many others that you wish. Yeah, on that note, thank you and enjoy the time. The next video will come.